What?
Are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Guys, what are you doing?
Yeah, for real.
We're kind of like walking now.
Alright, Ghost, if you're here, let's go. Now.
We don't do that, they get angry.
Nope. Okay, never mind, you can wait.
Why are you holding on to me? Guys,
What happened?
we heard like this creaking sound.
Oh, literally quicksand. Quick mud, I guess.
Okay, we're friendly.
We're friendly. I'm friendly.
You're actually a liar.
I think it was a bug.
I heard no.
No bug sounds like
I think it was no. That was footsteps. That was definitely footsteps.
I heard what is it?
Oh my god.
The gate open. Where's your dog? Dog?
First, we needed to find out who believed.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Of course I do.
But we also needed to find out why.
Alright, what influences your belief in ghosts?
Culture. I think culture has a lot to do with it. I come from a Caribbean, well, Catholic background, but with that too, there's a lot of African influences, and a lot of the cultures back home, subgroups believe in like the afterlife, and you know, we do not necessarily believe in, you know, like after you die, that's it. We always believe the life after death. So growing up, I've always heard stories about ghosts being around, and you know, you always want to be on a good behavior because people are watching you.
70 to 75% of Americans are Christian, and up to 80% claim to be religious. Of this 80%, more than half believe in the existence of ghosts. We found similar evidence when interviewing Nicole Demine, a professional ghost hunter.
What made you believe in ghosts and spirits?
I think I've always kind of believed in it, but the experiences I had growing up in my house kind of solidified it, and it's kind of nice to think about there could be something else beyond this life.
The idea of life after death is a main theme in religion, and it is the basis for the belief of ghosts, so it makes sense for many believers of ghosts to be religious. However, like most people, Nicole's belief was secured after she had personal experience with the undead.
What got me into all of this was at the house we lived in before we moved to our new house. I would see shadows while I was sleeping. My friends would swear they'd see a woman, and one night when I was sleeping, we kept the bathroom light on across the hall, and I heard people arguing, thought it was outside, but when it stopped, a shadow passed in front of the light in the bathroom. I went after it, thought it was my dad, and he was in bed, and it couldn't have been him. So I don't know who it was. That kind of sparked my interest.
Nicole's encounter sparked a new hobby for her, allowing her to go on many trips across America using all kinds of equipment.
Okay, there's many different pieces of equipment that you can use while doing a paranormal investigation, and these are just some of the few items that I use. Cameras. You have to have different kinds of cameras. You can see 3 different kinds that I have right here. These are all just still cameras, but this one is an infrared camera, which means I can switch it back and forth. I don't need light to take the picture or a flash. It can take picture in complete darkness and be able to see everything. These are EMF meters. They're electromagnetic fields. Electricians use them to find leaky outlets and stuff like that, but we use them to find energy fields. This number goes up. People say that spirits are made of energy, so when you get a detection on your meter, it can be a symbol that there is a spirit nearby. It also has a thermometer on it, which is also helpful. These are just 2 different versions of the same equipment. Walkie-talkies, they're always helpful when you have a large group investigating with you so everybody can keep track of where everybody is. This is something cool. You can't really see it because it's light out right now, but this is a laser grid. Yeah, it just projects laser points across the wall. It can cover up a whole wall. of little green dots, and you can see when something passes in front of the field, so you can detect shadows and stuff like that. That was my camera. This is a voice recorder to get EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon. It's stuff you don't hear with your ear at the time when asking questions. You get it afterwards when you're reviewing evidence. You'll get answers to your questions. These are something that are kind of old school. These are called dowsing rods. They use them way back when to find water deposits underneath the ground. I don't know how, but they do. And when they cross is when they say they find water underneath the ground. But there's also theory that ghosts can manipulate them, and you can ask questions. And I've had them react. You tell them to go to one side, and they'll go to one side, or cross and stuff like that. And of course, your handy dandy flashlight, because when you're walking around in the dark, it's a lot. It's very helpful, especially for someone like me who falls everywhere they go. So that's just a little bit of the stuff we use to try to see if we can catch some evidence of some ghosts.
Little did we know that we would use this equipment later that day at this site of the Muncie Massacre, the last Indian raid of Collin County, and that we would walk down this field to this site marker that reads, "In 1840 and 1842, Texas pioneers McBain Jameson and Jeremiah Muncie settled near this site. They were part of the post-Texas Revolution wave of settlers. As with much of the West during that era, Texas was a wild and often savage place. While hunting in late 1844, two other local settlers, Leonard Searcy and William Rice, came to visit Muncie's hut. They found the brutally massacred bodies of Jameson, Muncie, Mrs. Muncie, and their small child. Recognizing the obvious signs of an Indian raid, Searcy and Rice hurriedly left to find their own sons, who were hunting in the area. Searcy's son was safe, but Rice's son had been murdered. The victims were buried at this site. Along with the deaths of the Muncies, two other Muncie boys disappeared, presumed stolen, and were never found. Although Indian raids continued well into the 1800s and were fought by Texas Rangers, the Muncie Massacre was the last Indian raid in Collin County." This picture was taken by Nicole on one of her previous trips to the Muncie Massacre site. It was a picture taken without flash, yet there appears to be a woman in the picture holding a child. And here's a picture we took of that same cross during the day, showing that that woman cannot physically be there. For our journey on the Muncie Massacre site, the actual equipment we used were dowsing rods, EMF detectors, and Nicole's dog Sadie. As far as we can tell, the dowsing rods did exactly what they were supposed to do.
If you're a member of the Muncie family, can you uncross those rods? Make them point straight out, uncross. Thank you. Are you buried underneath the tree we're standing by? If you are, can you please cross them? Just cross them as far as you can. Thank you. Oh. Okay, can you uncross them for me? Take your time, just uncross them and make them point straight out. Thank you. Did you live on this land? If you lived here, can you cross them? Thank you. Now, this is a different question, but can you use those rods and point to where your house was on this land? Just point to us, show us where your house was. Make them both point to where your house was. we thought it was. Thanks. Thank you. He's missing without him.
It's
pointing at the tree. Can you uncross them and make them point straight out, please? Can you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, it was like somebody
What
singing.
is it? Okay. I think it sounded like Indian chant. In and see if we can get him to say he needs to pay for it. Alright, we're gonna ask you again. We're just trying to make sure we know who we're talking to. Are we talking to Jeremiah Muncie? Are we talking to Leonard Searcy?
Oh my God.
Alright, Mr. Searcy.
It's on danger. Oh no. Ooh. Where is it at?
Went to 3.8.
Went to 3.8 right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Sadie, it's okay.
Okay, I think you can tell it's that the red one's lit up.
If you cup,
To 3.8
Okay,
over
Mr.
here.
Searcy, can you uncross those for me, please? Okay. Now uncross them so I can ask you more questions. When you guys came back from hunting, did you think something was wrong? If you did, if you knew something was wrong, can you cross those? Thank you. Sadie, stop it. Can you uncross them for me? Uncross them, please. Make them point straight out. Thank you. Okay, now this is a big question. Can you use those rods and point, both of them point in the same direction to where the Muncies are buried? Just in the general area. They haven't pointed that direction yet. Are they all buried over there? If they're all buried over there, can you cross the rods? Oh, that's purple.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Does someone else want to hold them? Okay, Mr. Searcy, are you back with us again? Can you cross them?
Oh my God. Why me? Why? It spiked when you went back over there.
Okay, I'm going to ask you another question again that I've already asked you just to make sure we have it right. Can you point the rod straight out right in front of you? Just separate them. Thank you. Okay, can you point to the place on this property with both of the rods where the Muncie family is buried? And she's crying whenever you're holding them too. Okay, can you point to where their home was on this property? With both of the rods. Can you point to which direction you think the Indians came during the raid? Oh my God. That's where they did. They came from over the hill.
She moved with it.
I'm scared.
Look at Sadie. Do you see her?
What?
She went to attention and looked straight out there. Can you point them straight back towards me again?
Okay, I'm gonna stage.
Both of them straight ahead. When we heard the Indians chanting, can you cross them if that's what we heard? Did we hear the Indians that attacked you and your friends? Can you uncross them for me? When you came back from hunting, which direction did you come from? Can you point with the rods which direction you came from?
Okay, Sadie.
If you only trust talking to one person, will you cross them? Can you point the rods to the one person you want to talk to?
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. That.
Can you point him straight back out again, please?
We trust you, Lissa.
I have never seen these dudes like be this active. Do you like it when people come visit you? Can you cross them if you like it when people come visit you? Okay. Sound like a scream.
Oh, good scream.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
Alright. Do you want us to leave? Cross them if you do.
Okay, we're leaving.
All right. Well, if you want us to leave, you're gonna have to make a noise for us to hear. With our own ears, I want you to scream as loud as you can. Come on, we've heard voices before.
Do you
Go ahead.
Do you want us to go to a certain spot to hear the scream?
Point to where you want us to go stand. Okay, if you really want us to go, can you point the rods straight out? Okay, cross them as big of a cross as you can do, and we'll leave. Okay, thanks for talking to us. And hopefully you'll let us come back and visit you again if we want to.
We decided that at that point it was best to leave. However, we did return the next day to test our own homemade dowsing rods and different apps that claimed to work. We did get some similar responses with the dowsing rods, but we were also able to get some interesting evidence with the applications. We didn't hear as many things as the previous day, but still enough to be convinced that not only is the site of the Muncie Massacre haunted, but that ghosts as a whole do in fact exist. Of this 80%, more than half believe in the existence of ghosts. We found similar evidence when interviewing Nicole Demine, a professional ghost hunter.
What made you believe in ghosts and spirits?
I think I've always kind of believed in it, but the experiences I had growing up in my house kind of solidified it, and it's kind of nice to think about there could be something else beyond this life.
The idea of life after death is a main theme in religion, and it is the basis for the belief of ghosts. So
Guys, what happened? We heard like this creaking sound.
Oh, literally quicksand. Quick mud, I guess.
Okay, we're friendly.
We're friendly. I'm friendly.
He's actually a liar.
I think it was a bug. I heard no.
No bug sounds like
I think it was no. That was footsteps. That was definitely footsteps. I heard. Oh my god.
African influences, and a lot of the cultures back home, subgroups believe in like the afterlife, and you know, we do not necessarily believe in you know, like after you die, that's it. We always believe the life after death. So growing up, I've always heard stories about ghosts being around, and you know, you always want to be on your good behavior because people are watching you.
70 to 75% of Americans are Christian, and up to 80% claim to be religious.
What? Yeah, I'm recording. Yeah, for real.
We're kind of just like walking now.
Alright, Ghost, if you're here, let's go. Now.
No, you don't have to do that. They get angry.
Nope. Okay, never mind, you can wait.
Why are you holding on to me? It's open. Where's your dog? Dog?
First, we needed to find out who believed.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Of course I do.
But we also needed to find out why.
Alright, what influences your belief in ghosts?
Culture. I think culture has a lot to do with it. I come from a Caribbean, well, Catholic background, but with that too, there's a lot of